Hi, I'm Paulina, and you, yes, you are a... And this is addressed both to you, the person viewing this, and to me, because the camera is basically a reflection of the very depths of my soul that's obsessed with books being recommended to me by a research assistant in the publishing industry. Bull. Iconic member of the booktuber community whose taste is... Well, let's talk about that. I read 3 of Jack's TM favorite books. How, you might ask, did I get that information? It was simple. The first book I read was Kim Jae-young, born 1982. I actually already posted this review on my Bookstagram, but I'm gonna rephrase it here. But you should totally check out my Bookstagram and all of my social media to help me achieve my booktuber's goal of becoming monetized. I stop spending my parents' money on books. I think that's enough detours. All reviews are spoiler free. Let's go. This book is a brilliant mix of Korean gender inequality facts and prose. Beautiful prose. The story follows Jae-young's mental deterioration, there I said it, as she struggles to find herself and be happy as a working woman in a world that's constantly putting her down and not providing her with opportunities. She leaves her job to care for her newborn daughter. But after this change and her seeing the way that people treat her and her female friends, actually the way people did all her life, the way they treated her, the constant disrespect, she begins to show strange symptoms that make people around her uncomfortable. People aren't comfortable about that, but the casual misogyny is really great, right? Because of course it's Jae-young's fault that strange men on the bus harass her, right? She should be happy because her country, actually my country too, is passing a legislation for gender equality, right? That's some top tier clownery right there, but what makes it worse is that right as Jae-young starts showing these symptoms, which by the way is she is talking in the voices of other women, both dead and alive, she gets sent to a psychiatrist. Well, you'll see how things go from there yourself. Predators, gendered job interview questions. This was extremely depressing, especially with the third person narrative that was dispassionate and left a lot of room for your thoughts. As well as this, the story actually moves backwards. So the first thing we get told is that she's insane, and then we get to see why. And honestly, looking back, it's not that surprising to see why. And sadly, this isn't just a one-off thing for her. It's the case with countless others. That plays a role too, the fact that it's countless others. It's like this grim inevitability feeling. It's not just women, it's men too. From this whole like toxic expectation set by society, like man up, don't cry, who needs to talk about your emotions? This is just a brilliant example of where this occasionally takes us as a society. Please check for trigger warnings. On the sad girl summer ranking, I'm putting this one below A Little Life and a little bit below Crying in H Mart. This book is short, and all I can say is you won't be able to put it down until you finish it. And actually, maybe I should address this now that I thought of this, but yes, this is an actual question that I've had. Yes, the girl's name is Kim Jae-young. Yes, my surname is also Kim. No, we're not related. No, I am probably not related to the K-pop idol that you're thinking of. You might think that's ridiculous, and you might be like, yeah, well, duh, you're not related. You're this random girl on the internet sitting talking here about books while they're like in the K-pop industry. I mean, things happen, but still. Nevertheless, I have actually had this question asked multiple times, not specifically about this book, but in general. So just in case, no, we're not related. And since we're talking about the K-pop industry, fun fact, some of Irene from Red Velvet's fans, they started burning her merchandise because she was reading this book. No, I don't hate men, and no, this book does not have a man-hating vibe. Wow, outlining the problem that a young girl faces, harassment from her male teacher is hating men. Okay, so you're telling me that in Lolita, Humbert, the fact that Nabokov was writing about this problem and then people were discussing this problem, by that logic, all the people who discuss Lolita hate men. Like, explain to me how the author, in writing about the fact that when a woman, a working woman, has a child, she has to face a tough choice, and that is between continuing working and having someone else to watch the child, or quitting her job that she's invested years in and watching the child herself, outlining the fact that this is a problem because many women have to face this choice. Can someone please explain to me how this is hating men? Anyway, that concludes my not so short rant on Kim Ji-young, born 1982. Conclusion: the book is great. 5 stars. 5 jacks. Our second book of today's video, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I did not expect this depth. This was such a surprising book. The volume inside this book was astronomical, 391 pages with an average of 4.4 stars on Goodreads. So this is the story of an aging Hollywood actress who seeks out a journalist to write about her life, basically. And the journalist is not a well-known one. She's basically a nobody. The question is, why would she do that? Reading this description, I was a bit like, sounds kind of cheap romance story. Like, Cindy and Jack both gave it 5 stars. So I was like, we're going for it. Plus, there's also the fact that I can't just pick and choose. It's a favorite. It's a favorite. I don't want to be disappointed with Jack's taste, but like, it is what it is. It is what it is, you know? You know how in the title I wrote that Jack's taste is like... So this emoji here, I changed the meaning just for this video. Amazing, spectacular. Here is the emoji version of my face if it had hair and the face was like an egg shape. Maybe it had glasses too, but I digress. It's my reaction to reading this book. I opened it, I read it. That was my face. I was like, it's because this is not just about the Hollywood actress. It's about desperation and friendship and love and sacrifice. Evelyn Hugo grew up in poverty and she fought to get out of the place where she grew up. She fought for the fame. Later, she fought to keep it, and then she fought to be happy. The story has complex characters. What I love the most is that they aren't perfect. For me to hear people say that, oh, I hated this book because I didn't like what Evelyn had to do because she's a bad person, it was a little bit annoying. A little bit. I feel like the passive aggressive is like radiating out of here. I think a reason for not liking a character is that you think they're badly written or that they're like flat. They're not realistic. If you said that about the book and about Evelyn and quoted that, I understand why you think so, because we have a tendency to seek out characters that we like in fiction, often because we're struggling to escape the world that we're in. I respect your opinion, but I respectfully disagree. When I'm making this video, at least it's still June. Hopefully by the time I post it, it'll still be June. And what I want to say is this book I thought had a fascinating portrayal of LGBTQ plus relationships. You'll read it, you'll see it, pick it up. This was my first read from the author. Yes, I know, a bit late getting onto that particular train. So good. 5 jacks. Our final book is The House Guest by Amparo Davila. I spent so long finding this book that it better have been good. Was it good? Mostly. It was definitely not as good as the other 2 books. IMO, in my opinion. The thing is, it was a collection of short stories, so like some were good, others I didn't enjoy so much. I enjoyed a few. I particularly liked the first one, Moses and Gaspar. It was in the style of Edgar Allan Poe, who is one of my favorite authors, and it was basically the story of these 2 cats, and the main character's brother, he had these cats and then he died, so the cats passed on, and the cats are loud and freaky and creepy, and they're a plague on humanity and probably on other cats too. Interesting and enthralling short story about these 2 creatures from hell. They're not actually creatures from hell. No spoilers on that. There are 12 short stories in all, and another one that I liked was The House Guest, which is considered the main one. I just thought that it was a lot like Charlotte Perkin Gilman's, I think her name is, the author of The Yellow Wallpaper. I quite like that one. And I also enjoyed Oscar. And another one I thought cool was Tina Revs. The thing with the other stories is it wasn't that they were bad. No, they hooked you in. And they had that mysterious atmosphere. Like, you know those days when the sky is gray and the air smells of like mystery and the occult? Yeah, it's just that these stories were kind of similar to each other. I kind of anticipated the ending for a lot of them. It just felt a bit redundant because it was basically the same story with a lot of them. It's just that the magical like being was different. Yes, I get it. Short stories usually have a uniting theme, but I hate when things are super similar like this because you're so interested to know what's happening since the stories are fresh and it's like a nice break. But because you're so interested, you don't really take breaks. You just like read. You can't stop yourself. And when you consume so much similar content, you get disappointed. I think it was disappointing especially because it was a breath of fresh air and like it was short and kind of concise and everything wrapped up, and it wasn't like this whole story full of plots and subplots. Like, I'm reading Gravity's Rainbow right now and like, sorry, but it was just a nice break from the whole Lost Drop thing. By the way, actually, it follows the same feelings of like paranoia and etc. Since it follows the same theme, if it follows the same theme, just a bit more diversity would have been nice. By diversity, I mean diversity in terms of what was happening. The atmosphere was great though. I gave this one 3 Edward heads. I'm showing you 2 on this one. The whole thing is like around 100 pages, and honestly, when autumn comes, those gray dreary evenings in between the rain, I think it's a great opportunity for you to pick up this book. I do recommend picking it up between heavier books because the atmosphere is immaculate. I'm sure that a lot of you were curious what Jack's taste was like. We all know the humor is addicting, the editing, great, constant uploads is good, magnificent. Why should you trust my opinion on these books? I ask myself that in the mirror every day. I don't know, like, I feel like I have justified my opinions, but if there's something that you don't understand, please comment. I will reply, and it will also help with my engagement, so you go through that. If you're wondering what I do in this channel, other than simp for Jack Edwards with you, I make short study guides on classics. I also match books to outfits, and of course I do this reading like series, the one that you're watching right now. Oh, by the way, next one is Cindy, so watch out for that. My channel isn't even like a year old, so subscribe and let's grow together and have fun together. If Jack sees this though, instead of passing my exams, I might pass away, which according to TikTok, the trustworthy source, is good. I guess click some buttons, make that happen. Alright, thank you for watching and goodbye!